Good morning, everybody. Today is May 1st, 2025, and we are here for a work session. If we could all please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, we are in our open session of part of the work session, and the first item we have up today are matters surrounding possible change to Chapter 251 regarding public nuisance. And with that, we have Councilor Howard and Senior Investigator Downs from our code enforcement. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so we made some changes to, actually, we're doing a complete repeal of our current 251 nuisance abatement law, which was on the books, and we're doing a complete repeal and replace because we made a lot of changes. We added a lot of definitions to the code. So when we do that, we like to, make sure we dot our i's and cross our t's across the board. So, moving forward with that, the previous code had notable limitations that hindered effective enforcement and compliance. These limitations included outdated penal code references, lack of necessary defined terms, lack of constitutional protections, especially related to First Amendment rights, and reliance on specific criminal New York State Penal Code violations. All right, so the purpose of this revision, the primary goal of this revision is to broaden the scope of what constitutes a public nuisance and in a more general and comprehensive manner. And so this is achieved through incorporation of newly defined terms that offer greater clarity and precision. So everybody have a copy of the draft? Okay.
And just for a little practical context, the prior nuisance abatement law really only allowed us to focus on public nuisances where we could establish violations for at properties for criminal sale of narcotics or convictions for prostitution charges. And so in the past, we'd worked with PD on a couple instances in trying to get these public nuisances established. The problem is you need those penal law convictions to support the nuisance abatement violations. And a lot of times those would get kind of lost through the prosecution process with the DA's office, or the prosecution process would be lengthy, and by the time you get those, and they have to be repeated convictions, by the time you get those, there's not really the public nuisance isn't necessarily ongoing, So this allows us to respond in a little bit more, I think, real time by incorporating the life safety violations, substandard housing violations that Rich is going to go through.
Yeah, thank you for that. So key terms that we included in the new law, as Eric just mentioned, health and safety violations. These violations contribute to public's well-being and security. We added terms such as illegal or unlawful businesses. These are activities that contravene legal standards or licensing regulations. We included the term imminent danger. These are situations where an immediate threat to public safety is present. And terms like prohibited activity, these specific sections deemed illegal by local ordinance. Also, we incorporated the definition of a public nuisance, which also still includes penal code violations, substandard housing, and health and safety violations. or properties where a prohibited activity exists. So the key revisions to the law, as discussed, were the definitions. We included thresholds for determining what a public nuisance is in 251.14. The revision specifies how a code official can assess the existence of a public nuisance. The thresholds are clearly outlined and provide a procedural framework for decision-making based on the following features: frequency of the violations, risks to public health and safety, community impact, and the non-compliance history. We included an inspection and evaluation process in the code. This includes probable cause. The law requires probable cause to initiate any form of legal actions. We included in this ordinance evidence gathering so that it's spelled out exactly how to gather evidence against a property that may or may not have a public nuisance. We've included very important documentation and due process for violations. This ensures that the notice of violation is served in the proper manner. We've included enforcement and escalation measures. That's if the property owner fails to abate the public nuisance. We could refer the matter over to the town attorney's office to start an action and request some sort of injunctive relief. We've also included civil proceedings and penalties. This code, aligns with Article 65 of the CPLR, Civil Practice Law and Rules, to ensure proper civil procedures are followed in enforcement actions. Civil penalties under 251.17 are described for cases where injunctive relief is sought and granted. We also included justice court measures in this code, so if we do come upon a house that has a public nuisance, we have the ability to also bring an action forward in justice court for equitable relief. So very important, we've included a protection of individual rights in the code too. It's a critical addition to the revised code to safeguard for property owners and tenants, ensuring that the enforcement or nuisance laws do not infringe on their constitutional rights. It was not in our prior code. So this includes a clear stipulation that the code cannot be used to hinder an individual's ability to seek emergency assistance and make 911 calls. In conclusion, this revision provides a more comprehensive, systematic approach to identifying and addressing public nuisances, the inclusion of the newly defined terms, a structured process for determination, robust enforcement measures, will help ensure that the public nuisance issues are managed more effectively, fairly, in a manner that respects constitutional rights. With that, I will take any questions that you might have.
I just want to say thank you very much to the Town Attorney's Office and Code Enforcement. I think this is a tremendous help to property owners in our town. I think it's a terrific tool for the courts. It gives them clarity for definition of terms and procedures that are to be followed. And and to your point about the District Attorney's Office, what is a substantial crime to the District Attorney's Office may be very different to individuals living in a town. And the delay it takes with the DA's office, or frankly, dismissed a lot of times in satisfaction of more serious crimes. It gives us independence and not relying on the District Attorney's Office for convictions before we can proceed with public nuisances in our town. I thank you both very much for this. I think it's a great help to several citizens that have come up and complained about conditions in the neighborhood, deterioration, unsavory characters walking all around and, wandering onto their property, passing out drunk and such. I think this helps a lot of those neighbors. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
I have one question. I think this is really good code. Where I have a problem is the amount of the fines. And,
The civil penalties?
yeah,
Or
the penalties for, offenses, justice court, in addition to civil penalties, right? They're starting at $500. And I would like to see a start, I would like to increase that to 1,000, not exceeding 2,000. And then, second offense, started at 2,000 and go to 3,000, but the third offense should start at 3,500, no more than 6,000. And only, because you have, repetition, it's stated in this code, like if it happens, if every day you're gonna get fined. I just think that we've got to adjust the fine to the crime.
Okay. Any legal problems with that? Okay.
No, I don't see any legal problems with that. I would just, my comment to that would just be that, if something is so severe that we're seeking those types of fines in justice court, the chances are we're going to Supreme Court on this, where the civil penalties we have from 5,000 to 10,000 for each day. So, yes, that could be an additional penalty that a property owner faces. But I think that when we're looking at monetary penalties in connection with public nuisances, we're mostly going to be looking for those from the Supreme Court in the context of civil penalties. So that's my only comment on that. To me, the justice court violations here are not, I mean, they're important to have in there as a tool, but those are mostly going to be for your less serious public nuisances where you're pursuing a justice court violation to try and, I guess, get the property owner's attention and have some kind of fine in place for that, short of going to Supreme Court. If it's a significant, serious situation, that's when we would refer it to Supreme, where we're looking for those more substantial civil penalties.
That I get. I'm just, I'm just looking at the fact that, still $500, or even,
Yeah, I mean-
starting at 1,000 isn't going to make somebody want to go to Supreme.
Right.
Court.
Yeah, I mean, I think on that first offense, probably going to 1,000 on that is a good idea.
I would agree
you know.
with the councilman to at least climb and reach up by $500 that started at 1,000. It's just, I mean, what it's costing us to have, our code enforcement officers out there tying up, our legal department teams and so forth. It costs us a lot of money to prosecute these things as well. So let's put some money back into the general fund. So I think, I do agree $500 is pretty minimal in today's day and age in terms of, for the fences that they're doing.
Right.
And so the goal, I think, ultimately is the council said to get their attention.
And, and when we look at the types of violations that, the nuisance violations, a lot of it's going to be on landlords, right? So they're just going to want to pay. This is peanuts.
Right, when was the last time that the minimum fine was looked at? 20 years ago, $500 might have been, significant to some people, but things are different now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to spin off on what Eric said with respect to the fines, though. I mean, this is, the first course of action with this would be probably a notice of violation for a first violation that we see. And then it could spin off into justice court at that time. But I think if we're getting two and then we're getting no compliance, I think what Eric said, we're just going to go to Supreme Court and start for some sort of injunctive relief, which carries heavier civil penalties in this code. So we could also maybe increase, the civil penalties that we have in here. I don't know what they are.
We put in
5,000
5,000
to
to
10,000
10,000 for each day.
For each day. It's significantly high when you think about it.
Right, but I think it's well deserved. It matches the crime, because I know that you go
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? And it's a lot of legal work, and it's a lot of code work.
The way I look at it is determine what it's costing our code enforcement officer to go, and then for you to evaluate it, and you to evaluate, to then send somebody to court. And we start figuring out payroll salaries for people in town, and the amount of time that's allotted on a simple offense, we need to start recuperating that and to
Yeah.
cover those expenses.
I would just ask one question, Mr. Howard. It says, prosecutions on these, does this, if, as a prerequisite, does this assist you in a Supreme Court action down the road? If there are prior convictions on these?
Yeah, so, and that's sort of the way that the code is constructed, so that, where you have repeated violations, it sort of builds up to that, right? So you can get citations under 251, either by the notice of violation or then conviction or plea of guilty in justice court, and then you can, then you use that as predicate
Thank you.
for the Supreme Court action later on.
And that's the only reason I'm talking, I guess, in the context of the fines, people are more likely to plead guilty to it on the lesser amount, but it helps build a case for you, I guess, in Supreme Court, if you do have that individual that's a repeat offender where you can hit them with the big fine in Supreme Court.
That's
My thinking.
That's true too. I think there's a good balance and consideration here in terms of what $500 actually means to a property owner who is engaged in an ongoing public nuisance.
Right.
If they are doing that, you're going to have a certain set of property owners who aren't going to worry about paying that fine.
Right.
And then there's other types of property owners who maybe just have a messy property that they just don't clean up for years. And $500 would be significant to them.
And what's
Yeah.
our relief in Supreme Court, in a Supreme Court action?
In a Supreme Court action, we would typically seek injunctive relief and civil penalties.
Well,
So
injunctive relief, they'd have to,
injunctive relief in terms of directives either to cease a certain activity or remove certain items
or people?
or individuals.
That's
yeah.
what I'm getting
Right.
at. You have much stronger powers in the
Yes.
Supreme Court action to really eradicate the problem.
Right, yeah, yes.
That doesn't mean that they can't pay higher fines.
No,
in the
I
beginning.
Well,
agree.
that's-
I agree.
that's-
I'm
let's
just,
cover our
I'm just
costs
showing
in-house.
what the balancing can be.
Sure.
A lot of these are going to involve rentals too.
Yes, that's-
And when we're looking at, we know of houses right now that are getting $7,500 a month.
Yeah.
Not because they're a palace, but because they have numerous people living in them, so.
Right. Well, this code is really set up to address pretty much anything that comes up. So, you can have your rentals, you can have your transient rentals that are causing disturbance to the community. You can have properties where they've become a drain on emergency services for not necessarily legitimate reasons. You can have this apply to, the person who is, something of a hoarder or, collects things in their front yard and has received repeated, communications from code enforcement to remove those things. So it's very broad in terms of the types of violations and conditions that it can be used to address.
Yeah, I
Is
also
there-
want to say that these are for repeated occurrences. So in this code, repeated occurrences are more than 2 occurrences within a 6-month period. So we're looking at those properties that really have those types of situations. And these are repeated occurrences of prohibited activities and substandard housing. Like, we're still going to have, those mechanisms in the code to address, overcrowded and high grass and weeds and unregistered vehicles and things of that. But when we look into this code, we're looking into serious issues that are occurring.
So Rich, this may be a stupid question, but there are some shopping centers that have, I just went through one, pothole, and it's been there now for a couple of weeks. That's a public nuisance? No, or? I'm going to tell you why I would like to capture that somewhere, because, the other one that we talked about, I said have code go every single day and fine them, because, a little kid could get lost in some of those holes in that one place.
You can get a canoe out.
Yeah, no,
It's
seriously, but
Yeah, I agree.
people go through there and break an axle, or, it's
I don't think this specifically would address
Okay.
that situation.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there an objection by others to raise the fines?
No, not by me.
So let's
Okay.
bring them up and start covering some of our costs. But it's great code, Rich. You know, it's good. I'm just
Oh, no.
like, need more financial.
I
like,
agree
we
with
need to
you
cover our
on
costs.
raising the fines. I
Yeah.
never have a problem with that. It's fine.
This was good. You guys put a lot of work into this, a lot of information in here. It was needed. It was needed.
Thank you.
Very good.
Right,
So
so,
that's
It's gonna be
if
a
you
more
want,
lengthier
that's the
report each
suggestion
month,
on the
Rich.
fines.
it is.
You want to take a look at that.
So, my office will prepare a resolution to schedule a public hearing for this.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good work. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have matters surrounding introduction of online bill pay feature for Riverhead Water District. We have Bob KERN, Frank Mancini,
It's April
Chip
14th.
KREYMBORg, and Robin
What
Halpin,
the hell is that? Oh, he forgot it. I'll get it.
the brains of the operation.
Hi, guys.
Yes, my
My
wife.
favorite person.
Here I am. Here I
Did
am.
we get it done? Are we there?
Yes.
We are there.
Okay, good.
We are there.
Good.
This is huge. This is just
This is exciting.
6 years in the making, which is fantastic. It happens to be very user-friendly.
I have one. I have it.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, I think I have this as well.
So we are hoping, I just got notification from, we asked for a couple changes. We're gonna remove the owner field, so you cannot search on an owner name, just like on the tax records and on GIS. So you can search on a property location, you can search with your account number. There is a portal, which is very, very easy to navigate. You don't have to register, you can register yourself, you can do it as a guest. If you want to sign up for auto pay, you would register yourself, you would input your banking information, you would store it, you would click auto pay. So as of the due date on your water bill, it would auto pay. We can go through the motions as far as searching, registering yourself. I've registered myself, I've made a payment on it already. Lisa tested it, she said it's super easy. Took all the manual entry of the tax receiver out of the equation. It posts my payment, everything auto-generates, it puts it into a batch overnight. It updates the system, my payment posts to my water account. They get a batch, they close out their batch, and we move on. So rather than them having to go into every single account and posting that payment, that has taken that whole manual entry out of it. So if you guys want to see, we can go through, I'm going to pretend that I am owning the water district account,
Okay.
because I've already registered myself. So I'm going to first look up my account. I'm going to pretend I don't know my account number. I'm going to search for the water district account. So I'm going to put in the address, 1035 Pulaski, and search. So this brings up all of Pulaski Street. Keep in mind the owner name is going to be gone. So it's just going to be the street addresses. I'm going to grab mine. There I am. That's my account. It's going to show you the last 4 billings with the usage and what's open. You can also go in and see a PDF of your current bill. There's my water bill, just as I would see if I got it in the mail or emailed to me. This is currently what went out the last time with the lead service line. That's going to be off, and we're going to have my new update on the bottom of the bill about go paperless and your payment options. This is your water bill. If you go back to, now we're back to our account. If I want to make a one-time payment, I have 2 options to do it, an e-check or a credit card payment. I would click make a payment. I would choose checking or credit. So I did my checking account the last time, and I would click continue. It gives you a notice. This is your, and we're negotiating the percentage on the credit card payment right now, because it's set up to be 2.95%. We're currently 2.5 on Forte. So we're trying to get them lower than 2.5, because we don't want to go up. Obviously, we don't want it to be a higher thing. We want it to be either comparable or lower to what our customers currently pay.
I see some towns just do a flat fee, like it's $2 to pay online or $1.
On e-check is $1.95. That's a flat fee. It's a
Yeah.
percentage on a credit card payment. Auto pay has no fee. So if you sign up for auto pay, it pays and there's no fee incurred by you. So I would click continue. I would go through the motions. I would put in my information, my routing, my account number, my billing information. I would hit continue. It would confirm once again that this looks correct, and I would click pay. What that does is that sends it through the processing window. At night, the web portal creates a batch for the tax receiver's office. All of those populate to the water accounts. They get their batch in the morning. They close out their batch, and all of their funds are populated, and they get a report of who made payments on that window. So all their manual entry is now gone. If we wanted to go through a registration,
Shift that 11, go back out of that. There you go back to the back button.
we want to do full screen, right?
It's okay, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
We'll just
yeah.
go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So the final changes we got notified will be done by the end of day today as far as the search
Yes, as long
functions?
as we can get everybody
Yeah.
off the
Yeah,
system.
we have
So
to
those
reset
changes with the owner
everything.
field, they just confirmed that with me today. The percentage should be finalized within the next couple of days. And then we can push this out to the website. So instead of going to the Forte payment window for water bills, it'll direct them right to this. If we wanted to click to register our account, what you would want to do, oh, hang on, I have to, do you have, my phone's in my, we tested this with Chip yesterday. It can't be, if the town email address would not send the code to.
It ultimately did, though.
It ultimately
It was
did?
delayed, yes, it will.
Do you want me to try to do it? Do you have your
Sure, go
your
ahead.
phone? Can you access your email right now? Or does it take a long time?
Well, I'm already signed up, so it won't send me another.
Even if it's a different account?
Okay, do my
Okay,
tab.
because I could try mine.
You can do mine.
So if I wanted to create a user ID, I'm going to pretend to be the water district. So I'm going to do Riverhead Water. Oh, it's got to be disregard. So I'm going to try to do KREYMBORG.
Yes,
KREYMBORG.
very good.
At Riverhead, ny.gov. Going to click continue, and it's going to send a code to your email address, validating your email address.
Gonna get a lot of validating codes over the next few days.
I'm going to send everything to Chip.
Yeah, they can look it up.
I can use my personal if you want me
Try
to
your
try.
personal.
Okay, hang on, let me just grab my phone.
I'm just gonna say, I wait for Robin, this has been like, Robin's been great, you've been great, Chip has been great, Dime Bank's cooperation, this really came together.
Yeah, I want to thank you and everybody else. This is benefiting our customers, the water district, and the tax receiver, but it took a bunch of different departments to
It
make
took a
this
lot of
happen.
coordination.
It took a lot, but it's here.
Got it right here.
You
I want to be
did?
the first
Oh,
to
shoot.
welcome you to the
How do
21st
I get
century.
Well, now, yeah, do yours now.
Hit the back arrow at the top.
Whatever you'd like. Yeah, do yours. It did come in.
Okay.
This is typical, this is the way it normally works in the real world. Like you
Yeah.
sign up, you get an
Sign up.
email
Right.
verification.
Verification, right.
One of the things that I do want to work with Robin on is the next bill, what it's going to look like. And I think we need to do, I'll talk to you.
Well, I have a mock-up of what I have spec'd out so far. So
Yep.
the one thing that I have to change with Edmunds, everything on this page is hard-coded by Edmunds. So anything that this all generates from the system. Wow.
the bills.
This is taking a long time.
Yeah.
This is the area on the front of your bill that I have to work with.
Okay.
So, but my back of the bill always has my notifications, we do our little thing, this is our water conservation, and other things that we have to have at the bottom. So I have limited space on the front, but this is potentially what the front's going to be, because a lot of people don't flip their page over.
Good point.
So we're,
Yeah, she's good.
already exists, oh, I can't use that one. All right, so hang on.
Oh,
But I sent you a
So-
code. Oh, yeah, because we didn't use
Here's your
yours
water bill,
yesterday.
by the way.
Okay,
$4
let's try it
million.
again. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
That's okay, these things always happen to me.
Third job.
I'm trying to show you how awesome it is. and
Sign
it's-
you up again.
I'm gonna sign you up again.
Chip, what I'm wondering is if Jason could do put a little video together that we can run on Channel 22,
All right.
Whole sign-up process?
and then instructions we can leave at the senior center,
Mm-hmm.
and we,
Yeah.
at the different condo complexes,
368,
and really get this thing
362,
moving.
368.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna, just like you would do for anything else, I'm gonna do you, oh, you know what? I'll pretend I'm you. KREYMBORG. 631-727-3200.
I'll try that.
Water,
Oh,
1,
good to know.
1035.
Let me see that.
Order 1035, exclamation point. It's my standard, so if anybody needs to get on anything at the water district, that's what it usually is.
Uh-oh.
We don't have a lot of variety there.
Can we back up and erase the tape a little bit?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so we would create our account.
Change those
We
passwords.
could do this with, we can record this, and then we can put it on
Oh,
Channel
like
22.
a step by step, yeah, this
Yeah,
is
step
being
by
recorded,
step.
right?
Right, but without any no
Yeah.
mistakes, right? So,
Yeah.
let's do that.
There we go. We're gonna sign in.
Robin, what are you gonna do if your bill's like $2,000 for the month?
Chip's paying it.
Oh, oh, this is Chip's bill, good.
Yeah, this is Chip's bill.
Okay.
What just happened here? 035, exclamation point. All right.
Whatever. Okay, we're gonna do it again, not here, but we're gonna do it so that it can be recorded and
Okay.
then go on Channel 22
Gotcha.
as an instruction.
Once you are a registered user, it's going to bring you up, you're going to have a menu of things on the side where you can store your account information, your credit card information, your bank account information. You can register for auto pay. With the new portal that they're importing, there's going to be a checkbox to check right from there for e-billing, for paperless billing, so that they don't have to go into two different portals to do that. Because right now you can't do that. It would be a two-step thing where you would have to go to one portal to register for e-billing. So it needs to all live in one nice, comfortable place where everybody can access it. And you can make your payments from there. But the nice thing is that you can view your account online. You, particularly when your last payments were, what your usage was for the last 4 cycles. You can see your bill. It's the one biggest question we get all the time, because right now through Forte, it's a generic form. You click that you want to pay, it has, as you populate all your information, it doesn't bring up your account, it doesn't know your account information, doesn't know how much you owe. So everybody has to call first, get their account number, get how much is owed. You can pay whatever you want, you can make a partial payment, whatever you want to do. It's not going to reject it because it's a partial payment or an overpayment. We said about setting boundaries for overpayments. I believe tax said $1,000 is fine, as long as, you know, you don't want to ever carry too much overpayment. My thing is that we don't want to have to incur a refund to somebody. It's a time process to make a refund to somebody. So you don't want to have people, you know, if people have extra money that they throw extra $1,000 on. I get it, the summer comes and you don't want to get hit with that big bill, but if you sell your house, now you have this big credit on there, I have to give it back to you. It's going to take about a month for me to get you a refund. So we try to avoid that situation. But other than that, I find it very easy to register myself. I found it very easy to make a payment. I don't have to be an auto pay. If I want to go in and pay when I want, you can do that. You know, I pay my $1.95 for my e-check payment, and I'm okay with that. I pay $1.95 when I pay my taxes. It's pretty simple. It's just a nice tool that people can go on when they have a question, go see their things. We can direct them to that. And it doesn't always, you know, have to be a phone call. People want that. They want to be able to see their account online. They don't always want to trust me when they call and say, I didn't bill for this much last time. You did, and I can give you a report, but you can't see it yourself. People want that they can see their information online. So it's pretty big. It's big for us.
This is great.
We're
And
moving
we need to we'll get the word out. I'll work with you on that,
Yeah.
how we'll do that. So we really get a lot of people signing up.
Yeah, it would be great. You know, auto pay is great. It's, you know, everybody will, you know, people are used to that. People want to have that option. People don't want to mail a check anymore. You know, they don't want, you know, people don't even have checks anymore.
Sure.
So, you know,
Good work.
it's awesome.
Excellent. I do have a question.
Yeah,
So the first page, property location.
Yep.
So is this the same as the tax receivers portal, that you do not put in, let's say that you're on West Main Street, you don't put the word street, it's just West Main?
so when I just put in 1035 Pulaski, you did not have to populate the street. So you didn't have to do street, avenue, place. It
Right.
pulled it up. You just need, you can just put Pulaski Street and it'll bring up everything on
Everybody.
Pulaski. You could put the number and Pulaski and it'll bring up, you know, from that moment on so that you can make sure that you're picking the right one.
But if you put street or avenue, it will still accept it
I
because the
believe,
tax
we
portal
could
will
test it.
not?
We could, so let's
Well,
do.
it's a lookup, so it's not going,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just a
so
lookup.
is
So
the tax, the
How's
tax
it
portal
handled?
is just like this, but if you put in Pulaski Street, nothing will come up. You have
So
to
it
put
pulled,
Pulaski.
it worked with me
With
doing street, it works without me putting in street,
Put in
Great.
oak,
oak.
because we have a couple oaks
Yeah, we have
in
a lot of
town,
oak,
so how do
beech.
we?
See how many oaks come up.
Didn't like me. So oak, you're gonna get all your oaks, you're gonna get Oak Lane, Oak Drive. So if you know that you're maybe 147 Oak, but you don't know, you know, if you do one of those,
Is it Oak Wading River, or is it Oak Jamesport,
Right.
or Oak Riverhead?
147 Oak. If you picked 147 Oak, and there was another 147 Oak, when you clicked here, it would say Calverton, or Bating Hollow, or Jamesport, wherever the other ones lied, and then you
Okay.
could say, oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
This is the one also, I mean, not a lot of people know their tax map number, but it brings up your section, block, and lot.
This is great.
So it's for us, it's huge. At the bottom of this page where it says Town of Riverhead and so forth, we're gonna tweak that a little bit, so it's going to have your fees down there before you even go into it. Any other pertinent information we think that you need before you go a step further will be right here at the bottom, so that you're not questioning, you know, what are my fees, you know, how do I look something up? So this is just generic for right now because the portal is pretty new, but it's something that we can change. We don't have to go back to Edmunds and have them change it for us. That's something that's
That's good.
changeable
That's
by
really
us. I think that's about it. So the new portal we could possibly have up by the end of today, if we're able to coordinate getting everybody off the system. Otherwise, it could be done another time,
Correct.
before we push this out. And the fee, we should hear in the next,
Very soon.
yeah.
For the moment, it's 2.
So you'll give us a launch date so that when we put it on Channel 22, people will know.
I would say once we have the fee solidified, then we would have a launch date. We could do a launch immediately.
Right.
There's nothing that would stop us from doing that. We just want to have that.
We could go right now.
We could go right now, except that the owner is
$2.95.
there and it's $2.95. So I don't want to put it out there to somebody that wants to jump on and make a payment and they're paying $2.95 and then next week it's 2.5. You know, that would,
Right.
Yeah.
not be helpful.
I'm so happy for you, Robin.
Oh my gosh,
I really am.
it's just a beautiful thing.
And-
It's
And in tax, the collection process
Yeah.
is so much easier.
so much easier.
Yes.
So it's just, because it's all working together. We always had this web portal. It was always a thing in Edmonds. It's just that tax's system and our system weren't the same. They had BAS, then they went to Forte, and they just never were on the same page. And now with the web portal, this is what it's designed for. We're gonna have a barcode scanner for them, so when people come in with their stub, they can just scan this code, so it's no keying in. They just scan the code and put in the payment. It's really, really good. And, I mean, Edmonds, for us, I don't know if everybody loves Edmonds. I love Edmonds, because anything I've ever asked for them to do, they're on it, and they do it. And they're very responsive, and this is a, portal that's been around for a long time, and it's proven, and
Yes.
it's,
And we're ready for the next quarter.
we're ready for the, yep,
Good.
yep,
Okay.
and so May bills will go out with this. That's my plan.
And once they log on, they don't get a paper bill anymore, is that right?
If they register for paperless,
Yep.
they will not get a paper bill. They get an email that comes up paperless water at townofriverheadny.gov.
Excellent.
They get their paper bill front and back like that. And if that's what they choose, ultimately, that's the huge goal for everybody to go paperless, because it cuts
Save on
down,
postage too.
$30,000 in postage. Mailing water bills a year is a lot.
Justin, do you want to use the ceiling camera and shoot the back of the
And the
bill here?
physical work, they produce the bill, her and Melissa in the office.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah,
It's a lot of physical work.
I mean, I remember running
money.
numbers on this a couple of years
Yeah.
ago, and it's very, very expensive.
It's
This
very
is gonna-
expensive.
And the taxpayers, are paying for that. This will lower that cost completely.
Yeah.
It's gonna go away.
just paper and postage and ink and envelopes and, the time. It's
That's the back of the bill.
beautiful. Yep, so that'll be up on our website, that'll be on the back of the bill. You'll get it either paper or paperless. And we'll have our blurb on the front of the bill for the people that don't like to flip the bill over, don't realize that there's a back on the bill. And they'll have their options. So,
And Frank, Robin doesn't get nervous when she presents, probably. I'm not-
Fantastic.
I
I'm
love
thankful
Bill.
she came today.
This is my gig, this is my
She
gig.
did all the work.
I know.
This is my thing, this is my baby, so.
I really appreciate
You
it.
should be very
This
proud.
is,
Very good job.
This is,
In terms of a water project, this is the least that Frank has ever spoken. So thank you very much. You did a wonderful job.
Welcome. Can't guarantee on anything else. This is my spiel, this isn't his, so. My thing.
You're up, Frank.
Yeah.
This is like how it works in the office.
So, and if anybody has any questions regarding any of it, just call us. Me, Melissa, we do this all day, every day.
Good.
Excellent.
Very good.
We're good?
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you
Glad
all.
to have it
Thank
up
you
again.
again, Robin. That
Thanks,
was
guys.
awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Frank, why hijack?
Change your password.
How was my
All right, next up, we have matters surrounding New York State Municipal Parks and Recreation Grant with Thomas and Keller.
This is me, yeah. Wait, this is you.
Hello
No,
there.
I have one.
Hello, hello?
I have mine too. I think this was the extra for this. You guys want to
Good
water?
morning.
Very good, how are you?
How to do your water? How to go online and do your water bill?
Oh, my husband will figure that out.
Yeah, I would say that's probably likely. So we're just following up on last week's discussion regarding the application for this Office of Parks and Recreation Historic Preservation Grant. Just to overview, it's $10 million that's available in 2 different rounds this year. Recently announced short window to apply, up to $1 million per project with a 10% match. And so we tasked Liz as the recreation expert to kind of like hunt around and see what we thought would work. I know she spent some time speaking to Ray regarding the potential grant opportunities, in particular the lighting at the ball field. So that was one.
That jumped out first as a good
Yeah.
project, but then we received a really, really large quote,
Yeah.
so.
Can it be a multitude of projects, or it has to be a single item?
So I'll just give you the overview of the project. So it has to be a capital improvement. So, and it has to be to develop new municipal parks and to improve natural, ecological, cultural, and recreational resources at existing parks. And so wouldn't it be a maintenance opportunity? It's a capital expenditure, so construction or new. And so the ball field lighting was something obviously we've been looking at for a while. And the project cost was too high, and the thing about downtown, which is a wonderful thing, is the opportunity to match the grants with other grants. And so we try to not lay out taxpayer money or use park and rec money if we can avoid it, because downtown is low to moderate income area, so we can use community development block grant funds to match. And so that's where we were getting the 10% of the $1 million. It's a super easy fit. We have and because it's a short window for the grant, we have a lot of data and all the information through this consolidated funding application already, because we've already used that system to apply. So I think and I'll let you finish up what your research resulted in, but ultimately it was our recommendation that the application be made for the playground at the town square.
Yeah, given the time that we had and then the inability to match with the really large quote that came in for the lights at Vets. And then I wound up discussing alternate projects with Ray Coyne, and we decided that he was going to maybe pursue a match with you just through conversation.
Do you want to come
Didn't
up,
work out
Ray?
with Jeanette. And then I also spoke
come
with
on up.
Should I wait or should I?
Yeah.
continue?
Wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You need to sit shy in the back.
No, I was just, I'd come down here and just listen. So.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's fine. And then I spoke with Shannon Clifford over at Engineering, and I wound up getting this really great list of all the projects that are kind of on the docket. Ray also shared with me a spreadsheet for projects that were on the docket as well. But by that point, the turnover between the application process and the due date, it wouldn't really have been possible to get the information completed by tomorrow's date.
And the match. The
And the
match
match
was
as
the bigger
well.
issue, so
Yeah.
you need to come up with the 10%.
And that comes out of the original grant, the 10%, or?
It comes out of community development block grant, so we use those for downtown, low to moderate income areas. They can be used for Stotsky Park, so, in the past, we've spoken to Ray, because that's within the low to moderate area. So if he had a new project, so like the CDBG has to be a project, it can't be a maintenance. But if we use it for a new project that they have on their list, we can then shift money that he had on his budget for that project to maintenance if he wants to. We've been, worked on a little of that in the past.
So just a question like Ken Tester worked on in the beginning of the week. So we have all our bathrooms installed and complete up at Veterans Memorial Park. We're ready to turn them on, but we don't have sidewalks around them. And we need to install sidewalks. We need to bring them down to the parking area so they're ADA compliant and keeps people out of mud and stuff like that. So he had put that out, and that's like 24,000. And it'd be nice to put some picnic tables around there and a bike rack, maybe 2 bike racks outside. But it's 24,000, maybe with some picnic tables and so forth. 25,000 we don't have. That's a capital improvement project, so there's nothing there. It's dirt right now. It's a new project. So with something like this, could this be helpful? Ken already has the quotes, that we can give you today. I'm just trying to find ways to complete
and
that project so that we can say, okay, this is done.
We cannot use CDBG for that because it's not low to moderate income area, so the match would be out of your pocket, but that's not a huge match. It's just for an opportunity for up to $1 million. It's kind of a nice thing to go hit the bigger projects.
That's
that
why I
we
want to
need
know, could it be a
fund.
multitude of other
No.
projects? So you're saying you only got to pick one, so
One
you're going to pick
project.
one expensive
Everybody,
project.
when you think about grants, you have to remember that
It's from
the
Encode.
granting entity
The work
wants to
that's
come
going
down,
on.
do ribbon cutting and show,
Yeah.
and put a sign on the project that they did. So that's why, and also just in terms of the maintenance aspect of it, they are not going to invest in something that you haven't maintained, right? So they're going to look at you and say, well, we're going to invest this money and we're not going to get a good return on investment. Also, it's not a great photo op. So if you can incorporate those maintenance projects into a capital project, that's something to talk about. We can work on those. So for instance, if you wanted to do stormwater runoff, rain garden that involved the parking area. That was something that between engineering and us, you could find necessary. And then we would need a full-on budget for that in order to make the application. We can't guess at numbers, we need to have actual quotes and things like that. And so with this one, it was a short window, a big number. It could be a nice hit if we could get it, and it just made the most sense to kind of direct it in this way.
And there is a round two.
There
If
is a
we were
round
to
two, yeah.
choose to not approve this project, we could research moving forward what could be applied to a round two.
We're not saying we're not approving, I'm just saying we're just learning about the process.
Yeah, 100%, that's why we're here
I am
to,
too.
yes, to flush it out. And
Figure
I,
out-
you know.
I didn't know if there was like an overall, if it benefited, right, to put a whole park plan. These are all the new things. We need adaptive playgrounds in different parks, like in Wading River. Like, can you put a package? So my question last time was, could you put a package that there are 10 projects within a town that are all new capital projects that are gonna upgrade all of the parks to have handicap accessible playground equipment and things like that? Could you do that? And then that you're dressing up the town as a whole as opposed to just narrowing down to one spot?
Not in the Calverton location with the CDBG money.
Okay.
So with alternate match funds, potentially, yeah, absolutely.
So, but match funds would go a long way. I mean, Ray's got 149,000 right now, roughly,
Yes.
in your the budget,
We
right?
have two bears on the top of that list.
Yeah, so if you were to do a tennis court and a basketball court, it's new,
Yes,
okay? That would qualify. He uses the match funds, and then he has funds to do the other projects that,
yes,
that
that's what
Ken
we
is
were
talking
trying
about.
to, that's what we've
Yeah.
been working on in the past with, particularly with CDBG, because if we can use grant money to do the Stotsky Park capital project, if you want to add a ball field or something like that, then, you know, then he frees up his budget to do other things. And we've had this conversation in the past, so for sure, you could do that.
There's quite a few projects on the list as
Yeah, there
well
are quite a few
that
projects on the list.
are located in Stotsky Park.
when is round two?
They didn't specify.
It'll be during this year, probably later in the year, August, September, or something like that.
So Veterans
Could you-
Park, those lights didn't qualify then for this particular grant, correct?
No, they did qualify for the grant,
Okay.
but the money that community development has couldn't be put towards the match because it's restricted to the like the areas
Low-
or
low to moderate
low to
income
So it's gotta be
moderate,
like the Statsky Park area.
It's gotta
there
be
it's
downtown,
included, yeah.
and that area extends
particular
up into Stotsky,
part,
which is
yeah.
why we, you know, and that's a really flexible fund. We get it every year from the county. It's from HUD, it comes from HUD. It gets administered through Suffolk County, and it comes to us. And every year, you know, we get a nice chunk, and we spend it on different projects, so that you have a resolution for one today, actually.
Doesn't
So we
extend
have
out
a
west.
couple of
Doesn't extend
landscape
out
crews
east.
that
that makes sense.
that are donating to the town, and we spoke to Ray about building soccer fields up on the at Veterans Memorial Park, utilizing that field. They even talked themselves like, oh, we have a company that says we would donate irrigation. I said, well, that's wonderful, but we don't have any water up there. Could you even put the water, saying that if you put that fire hydrant line that came through, that water line came through, and then somebody else then stepped up and did the irrigation, stuff like that,
So
could that be part of the overall project?
This
that
could
gets-
be used
Gets water in the
for,
park,
I think,
if that's a capital project.
let's just say.
Could also drill a
construction.
well.
It can be used for
But there is water.
It's fresh,
necessary costs of construction.
Drill a well.
So I think
But the soccer field.
1.5 grand.
that's a good question.
What
I'd
is
have to
it,
look a little
PFAS?
more. It's possible.
Well,
We'd
the
need
water bill
we'd
would
need
go
the
way up.
plan for the big project. So we'd need the total project plan and then the cost of this component, and we would move to get the grant on that component of the overall project plan, which is X million dollars, you know, whatever it is. Again, match is important, like when we talked about the lighting, it just couldn't get done with the cost of the lighting. There was just not enough funding to have the free match, and we can't use this really convenient match fund to to supplement it. So,
So we can do projects then in the future at Stotsky Park.
Yeah,
some
we've
of
talked
that
about
area,
this in the past.
Because we're gonna need lights at Stotsky Park.
so as long as it's not a maintenance project, it's a capital improvement.
It will be.
So if it's like
And we need
a
a
change out to
playground,
LED, you want to change out a playground, for sure. We talked about this with the tennis courts. We couldn't do temporary pickleball, we couldn't do movable stuff.
No, I understand.
Had to be a permanent capital improvement to Stotsky. And then,
Yeah.
if you have money set aside for that, it goes back to your kitty for whatever you want to use it for. Unless it's park and rec money, in which case you can't use it for maintenance, but, if you had other money.
But it's 10%, so whatever the project
It
would
depends
cost,
on the
it would be
grant.
at 10%.
It depends
Yeah,
on the
this
grant.
particular-
Arguably, for this particular item.
Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's
Okay.
50. It depends on, every single grant is a different.
What about the new West Ackley skateboard park? It's going to be on the other side of Stotsky Park.
So that's,
I've been researching grants for that as well.
Okay.
So you're going to be sending me more information on what the group that is currently organized and is fundraising.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah.
Dexter, yes, yes.
so they have enough funds in there, Kitty, now to do the plans and the specs, right? So that's what we will need to get the bigger money, which we talked to them about.
Okay.
So this, maybe if they're done with that by the next round, that could be an opportunity to
Okay.
apply for that. But right now, there's not enough budget, like we can't invent the budget, we need actual numbers from we need an actual
Get an
plan.
idea of how to go forward.
Yeah.
No, and Liz is on that, so,
Good to know.
we're totally focused on that.
That's on county property. Are they working with us? Are they going for any grants for that new skate park?
We haven't discussed that with them.
I don't believe.
That might be, something worth discussing because I don't want to see us foot the entire bill, and that might be useful if they can help get some
Well,
grants.
there's always, as we get closer to having an actual drawing, that's always
Yeah.
the good thing to be able to go to the county with and say, hey, this is
Okay.
on your property, what are you thinking? You could work with us on, we would do that networking for
Alright,
So
sure.
we're currently working on the resolution for the county to pass to approve the project.
Yeah.
To- to
And
make
they've
the
been,
project acceptable and
we're working on support letters for their grants that they're doing on the private end, and, as soon as we have an opportunity that comes up, what we got from engineering and what we have from you guys is great, because we know what people are looking for, and that's generally what we do, like,
Yeah.
what is your project, what do you need, like, PD needs cars, we need, so we're kind of like always researching and looking for the
very-
So
next
what's at the top of
thing.
the list then now? So what are you thinking? What's in the short time notice we have?
Well, this definitely, the grant is ready to be submitted, it's due tomorrow,
It's
and that's,
reachable.
And
that's
what is it
why
for?
it's for
Specifically
the town square playground,
Town square park.
which
Yeah.
is fully designed, fully engineered, fully budgeted, ready
We
to
already
go.
have money allocated for that playground?
We do,
Do
some.
we move it to something else? Is that the
No,
game
it's
plan?
not, we don't have enough to finish
You don't
it.
have enough. Okay.
We have a good chunk, but we don't have enough to finish. So we're just continuing, and then, like, when we talked about the CDBG money, this is a great little nut for those kind of things. If we need benches, we need lighting, if we want to add playground equipment, if we want to swap stuff out, well, that's the perfect location for that. The veterans fountain that we're talking to Kim Judd on.
This money will finish this.
Can that money go
Yeah.
towards the amphitheater?
Which money? This money?
Yeah, that,
So we don't have we only have preliminary design for the amphitheater. We just got the 1.4 from the state, so that's gonna get us to the next design step. I just had a conference call with East End Arts yesterday with Catherine Curran and also with Richard Wines, and we had a long discussion about like a real strategic plan for East End Art. So I just sent an email this morning to East End Art, to Jordan Rogove, who is working with the Science Center, to see if they can, because they need real classroom space. Some of those buildings don't work great for them. They need a real gallery,
Yeah, they do.
so there's a lot of things they need. And I was like, well, let's come up with the overall plan and then just start hitting it.
With this application, there's a lot of specific planned information that needs to be included. This is the first time I've ever completed a consolidated funding application, and it was wild. Like, it was a really cool experience, and the amount of, teamwork and the amount of, like, data organization and reaching out for letters of support, like, it's very specific for this project, and I'm more than happy to do that a million more times, but within the time constraints that we have for this. This is a really good opportunity. This could really close out this project and make it beautiful, and we have the match. So
Do they purposely release these grants with a short window to
The
apply,
other,
to kind
Sometimes.
of weed out.
So generally, they go in rounds, right? So you'll see round for downtown revitalization, 16, 17, 18, 19, right, annually. Suffolk County does a round. Every year, the state does consolidated funding application, which was like the Common App for college, right? So all of the state agencies that have funding, some of them are pulling out of it now, but for the most part, we use the CFA consolidated funding application, and you can clone a past application, so it helps a little, not a
a
lot.
little bit, yeah.
A little, but those are due usually at the end of July. And so if you'll remember last year, we applied and then we got invited to do a pitch for the amphitheater.
Yes.
That's always a good sign when they take you up to wherever we had to go, somewhere up and where I needed a passport up island, to make a pitch for that. You get up and speak in front of the entire Long Island Regional Development Council, Economic Development Council, and then you cross your fingers and hope that you get it, which in that case we did. Again, we don't know.
So, just a question for future projects, so not talking about this, but future projects. It's the state of New York that sets the restrictions on this, right? It has to be capital improvement.
Depends on where the funding comes from.
this
The only reason I
particular
ask is that should we ever be asking our state senator and our assemblywoman and so forth to write letters like, I don't even want to use the word maintenance, but restorative projects, that we have so many parking lots and so many, and I know it's always supposed to be new, but we put in something new, and we have so many things that need to be restored, renovated,
So,
repaired.
I'll speak to that. I
Yeah.
actually have drafted legislation with Town Attorney Emery Prudenti that we have brought up to the state senator, Senator Palumbo, and we're asking him to bring that before the Senate.
For the park and rec
For the
fees.
park and rec
Yes.
fees, so the 20% for
That's a
repairs
really
and
good-
maintenance.
That's a really good.
Separate that out of Town Law 277 and 274A.
Yeah.
So that's where
If you can
we're at
get
with
that,
yeah.
that's the home run. The grant money, like I said, it's I don't envision that, because they think that if they give you something, you ought to be able to, if they're gonna invest in you, you ought to be able to maintain what you have.
Right.
And so that's their,
And I
and
understand
they want a
that,
ribbon
'cause-
cutting, and they're like, oh, they fixed their parking lot.
It does feel
But see,
really
I
nice,
feel
though.
like that, I understand that when it comes to maintaining swings and planters and other things like that, but when you're talking about, Bayberry Park, Police Officers Memorial Park, when we need $300,000 for a parking lot, it's like, that's the crucial component, and it's
Yeah.
funding that we simply, year after year, don't have available, and so.
I know.
And so, I understand about,
And if it
keeping
was
and
in,
maintaining
if it
all the
was
little
in,
things, but like.
if it
but a
was in the
parking lot is just-
CDBG area, we could totally help with that. But it's like sort of outside of a lot of the windows that we have to get funding. And I agree with you, and I think this is the better path, because I think other municipalities have the same problem where you build stuff, you can't just keep building and then have no way to maintain it. And every time you build something new, it's another, it's another entry on your capital projects maintenance schedule that now the
That you can't
taxpayer.
maintain.
Correct. So that's an important thing to really advocate for, because, like, we're trying to figure out how to kind of like shell game stuff to get the money so, Ray can use other money, but it's gotta always be a capital project. Like something somebody can take a picture in front of is really what.
I just sympathize with Ray. I mean, like,
Me too.
for four years that I've been, fortunate to be on the board, it's like year after year trying to get specifically Bayberry Park done, the Police Officer
Yeah.
Memorial Park, and it's like we can't get money for a parking lot, and it's just like it's.
I wonder if like
Trying to think of other sources
like
of.
PBA or.
But it's so less
something like
expensive
that,
to
or,
maintain
it's
as
such a large
opposed to
amount.
doing
Yeah.
new. What's the purpose of building new if you can't maintain it? It's a lot less expensive to
Well,
maintain.
those are the things that
There's no
weigh
wisdom
into
to the
your
way they do
long-term,
it.
and which is
Right.
why when we're talking about the town square, we're talking about having somebody else maintain it. Because we know how hard that is, and it's not anybody's fault, it's just a costly thing, and something breaks, and what you paid for in 2010 and 2020 costs 5 times as much. With the downtown, even with the lighting along the riverfront, that project between COVID and when we were ready to start it doubled in cost. And so it's always a little bit of a whack-a-mole, right? I think we're always trying to like,
Timing's tough and
yeah,
inflation's
Yeah.
wild and
yep.
just
Yeah.
turn
How
around.
close will we, if we should get this grant, and then how close are we to the playground completion, having all the funds in
I think
place.
that's the last piece of the puzzle. So, and we're gonna, we keep applying, right? So we applied to Nat Grid for some of the bigger pieces. We also we have a pitch deck that we plan to use to get private donations. People can name different pieces of equipment or different areas in the park for a relative or a loved one, as a memorial. So those are the things that we're trying to figure out.
So, I mean, there's also a chance that we're not going to be awarded this week.
Correct.
And then there's a
true.
round two.
Right.
So in the meantime, it would probably be prudent to look at other projects that this second round $1 million could fund. If there is a way that there could possibly be a match outside of the community development block grant area, and if not, if there would even be, if we could do something at Stotsky Park. It's something
There are
we're really
projects
willing to look
that
at, like,
need
it's
to be
important.
done at Stotsky. Is there a way that we can assist you with doing research? We had a meeting with Rec Advisory, and we're looking for every way possible to get funds, raise funds, anything to help the park. So I'm sure I can get some of them to help, get my office to help. I know you have a lot on your plate.
I think it's just about getting the information to
Okay.
us when we ask for it.
Sure.
Like we'll make sure that we're asking for specific things in a timely manner. And if you can get that to us, it's just data collection, and you have access to things that I don't have access to.
Yeah.
And if we can connect with engineering, I think that it would be a very easy partnership because I know the ins and outs of what the parks needs. And, as long as we communicate, I don't think it should be an issue.
Okay.
The wish
Whatever
list,
you need
the
from
wish
me.
list,
here,
and,
yeah.
just,
My wish just has dust on it.
so, well, but,
But we can
we
help.
need to look at it
Yeah.
because, and I know we've discussed it in the past, but if you have an updated list of projects you want to get done,
Any data that you
send them
need.
over and
Sure.
and then when we're looking, because, we'll get an email, says this grant is opening for whatever, and we'll research it and see if it fits any of those pockets, and then we'll go for it.
Okay.
I think the lights at the park would be a good target.
And we can talk about that too, and how it could be it is a capital.
And if
project.
we can take the Stotsky capital projects off your plate, and then you maybe have money to shift towards
Yeah.
that, those are the thoughts that we've been trying to,
That would be the goal, so that he can,
yeah, and then we're always like chasing our tail, because everything just gets more and more expensive over time, so,
Never ends.
it doesn't, it's just, even like thinking about playground equipment and things like
Oh,
that.
you have to see how much the playground.
I do.
It's
like,
through
why
the roof.
even
Yeah.
buy a new playground, because in 10 years you can't maintain it.
So River and Roots Playground, by the bid,
Garden.
BIDMA applied for funding and received funding through Suffolk County Downtown Revitalization. So I'm not sure, we may be working on that, but that's a whole replacement, remove the tree project, and that's like,
That'd be a good project.
yeah, it's a capital project. Then if we can get that, expand the community garden,
Right.
come down Griffin Avenue, you're looking at
Yes.
Make it beautiful.
Beautiful.
we got a lot of,
Open up to the park would be awesome.
it would
to
be
able
the
to
best
do
thing,
that.
so that, we're thinking of things like that, if something comes along, or, we're always kind of.
So you're gonna come back next Thursday and tell us how much money you got.
Yeah, we probably won't find out until
Let's go back to your wallet.
summer, right? Well, did they say when we find out, did they say?
Do you
You-
have?
I
No,
gave
I
it
have
to
it,
you.
you're right.
I don't remember when awards, they don't always tell you.
It might be
When it
fall,
is.
I'm not sure. I can let you know, because this is a lot to speed read right now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So do we have the?
Yeah, so the resolution's in the packet.
Yep.
We're gonna ratify because it's due tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And, it came up at the kind of last minute.
Yeah, I didn't find out about it till like the end of March, and then kind of just tried
But
to
it's
speed
a-
through with the project change and everything, so.
Very good.
All right,
Okay,
great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Ray, what are the hours of the drive up for the beach stickers?
Regarding the
It
next
has
Sunday
been-
updates
it's
on the
beginning at
committees, you
11.
want to postpone it
It
till
was
next week?
up till-
Yeah, that would be great.
When's the next one?
We're we'll postpone the next one until next week.
Yeah.
On the
Committees are a work in
because-
progress.
Yeah.
Denise, thank you, because I was trying to push exactly what you're doing, and I was trying to do with Jody. Going to Palumbo, I think is good.
Can you
We'll
stay
get
here
it to
for 1
Jody.
second? I have to do
Maintain
a,
maintenance on parks.
an
We
update
got it.
on
I can't see all of any.
committees.
He's on
But
my
if you could
radar.
just-
I'm seeing
if I
him
can
today
ask
at
you to
2
just
and
repeat
tonight
that.
as
That's
well.
what I was gonna say, are you going
Just about
today?
As well
Yeah.
as many phone calls and
Thank
emails.
you.
Okay, good.
I went with Rebecca.
Did you bring money, Ashley, for the parks? Okay.
Yes, okay, thank you. I'm
I
just
asked
hanging
Ray
out.
to stay
I just want to hang out with you guys.
Oh, for the next one?
for the updates on the committee.
Oh,
I
no, we're
just-
not
We're gonna push that off to next week, because not
Oh,
everybody.
all right, so I'm
Oh,
hanging out.
okay, thank you. That's
mean,
why
we
I
can do
needed him,
yours
I
if
didn't
you
have
want,
it.
If it's something.
Oh, no,
No, no, no.
Okay.
I just,
You want to talk to me?
Yeah, no, just with the DEC and the Washington boat.
Oh,
We
yeah.
notified somebody with all boats, it's being followed.
Oh,
All right, so we're good with that.
Thank you. I'll talk to you.
Okay, the last item we had set up for work session is matters surrounding update on committees. We're gonna push that to next week because not everybody has their updates prepared for today. So we will, we'll discuss those, next Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll
Right.
move on to
We'll move on to
resolution.
resos, which is not on that. I have to amend that to add it. That was my error. I inadvertently omitted it. So we'll fix that later on and post that for archival purposes to include the resos. And if the board's ready, we'll jump right into it.
We are ready.
Okay, resolution number 1, budget adoption, CP 72505, HUD Home Funds. That's just setting the budget for that. Resolution number 2, Water District Capital Project number 82504, Noggles Barn, Halleckville. Resolution number 3, authorizes the removal of fixed assets, one of which is a calculator, for the record.
I'm sorry, I didn't, what, is it what?
One of which is a calculator. I'm not making it up, it's on.
No, I believe you.
If it's the towns, it's probably an abacus.
Yeah,
Could be, I don't know. Number 4, approves travel for 2 Justice Court employees to attend DWE seminar. Number 5, ratifies the provisional appointment of an Assistant Recreation Program Coordinator. Number 6, appoints an accountant. Number 7, appoints a Senior Assessment Clerk. Rebecca Hazard's been provisional, this makes her permanent. Number 8, appoints a seasonal clerk to the Recreation Department. I'm told there's just a question on this regarding civil service. Personnel and rec are just needing to finalize a detail or two on this, so this may need to change a little bit, but we wait further word on that, so we'll let you guys know, of course. Number 9, appoints returning seasonal employees to the Recreation Department. Number 10, appoints new seasonal employees to the Recreation Department. Number 11, appoints members to the Riverhead Farmland Preservation Committee, Eve Kaplan and Matt Wells. Number 12, appoints Robert Merrick to the Town of Riverhead Emerging Technology Committee. Number 13, ratifies the resignation of a harbor master. Number 14, ratifies the resignation of a building permits examiner. Number 15, terminates an inactive employee from the Riverhead Police Department. Number 16, classifies an unlisted action. Classifies an action as unlisted pursuant to SECRA, assumes lead agency, and issues a negative declaration for the site plan and special permit applications entitled Calverton Satellite Earth Station, 317 to 319 Berman Boulevard, Calverton, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-13520-1-16. Resolution number 17 grants 6-month extension of preliminary site plan approval for the site plan application of 38 McDermott Avenue, AKA 38 East Main Street, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-129-4-10.1. Number 18, amends resolution number 2025-189, Sandy Pond Clubhouse, Manager's Residence, Trade Shop, Special Permit 1521 Roanoke Avenue, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-82-1-12.1. And we have Planner Greg Bergman here. He's going to just chat with you guys briefly about this resolution.
Okay.
All right, good morning, everybody. So this is just a minor amendment to the special permit resolution for the Sandy Pond Clubhouse Manager's Residence and Trade Shop application. As I was preparing the report for the planning board, I went back and looked at the resolution, and I realized I forgot the secret recitation. So all this does is just add the negative declaration language to that special permit that was granted. I mean, again, we had prepared the EAFs, it was all done. I just omitted one paragraph. So this will amend it and just say that the town board hereby assumes lead agency and issues a negative declaration pursuant to secret. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, resolution number 19 authorizes pursuit of Suffolk County Downtown Revitalization Round 23 funding for improvements to 3rd Street municipal parking lots. That's right here across the street. Number 20, ratifies authorization for an application for a New York State Consolidated Funding Application, CFA, Municipal Parks and Recreation Grant. We just spoke about that. Number 21, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post for request for proposals for the sale of 214 Griffin Avenue. That's the White House that the town owns just beside our building here.
Correct.
Number 22, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post bid for annual street light and traffic signal repair parts. Number 23, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post bid for annual fire and security alarm contract. Number 24, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post notice to bidders for lubricants. 25, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice for public hearing to designate a parcel at 48 Willow Street, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-87-1-14, located in the town of Riverhead as open space. Expend community preservation funds pursuant to Town Law 64E in the amount of $75,000 and approve budget transfer to restore trust and agency funds designated for wetland restoration and remediation in the amount of $75,000. Number 26, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice for public hearing for the site plan and special permit applications entitled Caverton Satellite Earth Station 317-319 Berman Boulevard, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-135-135-20-1-16. Number 27, authorizes town clerk to publish and post notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code titled Zoning and Land Development, Section 3 thereof, titled Definitions, Word Usage. Number 28, awards bid for dry hydrated lime. Not lime. Lime. Number 29, approves license agreement between Wadington Realty Corp. And the Town of Riverhead for utilization of Town of Riverhead parking facilities nunc-pro-tunc. That's for La Plage. Number 30, ratifies authorization for the supervisor to sign a consultant professional services agreement with Kathleen Schroer.
What's that for?
So Kathy worked for us for many years, 32 years.
Oh, right, I know, never mind, I got a name confused, thanks.
Yep, no
I know
problem.
what it is.
Number 31, approves agreement between Town of Riverhead and Winship Media LLC utilizing parking police personnel and police cars, 2025 Jazz in the Vines. Number 32, authorizes the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Stein Seafoods LLC to allow the operation of floating upweller systems Flupsy in East Crete, nunc-pro-tunc. Number 33, approves special event Chapter 255 application for Duck Pond Day. Number 34, approves special event Chapter 255 application for Riverhead Country Fair. Number 35, approves special event Chapter 255 application for Iglesia Familia de Dios, Riverhead for Christ. Number 36, approves special event Chapter 255 application for Dreamland Amusement, Inc., East End Fair. Number 37, approves special event Chapter 255 application for Long Island Anti-Power Association Summer Show, Fall Show, and Tractor Pulls. Number 38 pays the bills. And then we have 3 additional resolutions that didn't make it into the packet. You guys were emailed about them, you're aware of them, you have copies in front of you, and we'll post copies online and, of course, make them available to the public. But first one is appoints an office assistant. Second one is the same thing. Those are positions for the building department. You know, we're short-staffed there, so.
How come we don't have the names listed of the people we're hiring?
They don't have the names in these particular listed in the title, but they're embedded in the body of the resolution. Why that is, I'm not exactly sure, except to just say
Where
that I
is
think
that?
there's,
Yeah, they're
I'm
not
sorry,
in the,
they're not in the title, but they're in the body of the resolution.
Yeah, they are, there's one,
I
there's
see
here.
Tara here on one.
Dominic,
And the one.
oh, yes, got it.
Dominique.
Yep, got it.
And the last resolution amends Resolution 2025-128, East End Arts Mosaic Festival rain date change. So it's just a date change in case they need it. And that's it.
Okay. Well, that concludes our open session of today's work session. In a moment, we're going to close it and go into executive session to discuss matters surrounding acquisition of real property with Howard, Hurley, and Thomas. So if I could have a motion to close work session and go into executive session?
So moved.
All in favor?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, open session is closed. We now go into executive session. Thank you.